It's not so much about the gizmo, the gadget, the product. It's really about the person behind it, especially if you are someone who is going to be part of the brand, and the brand is you.
Investors make their first judgment about you before you've said a word about your product, your LinkedIn profile, before you step into the room. And everything matters: how you look, how you sound, the information about you. They're judging you continuously from the get go. And I think a lot of founders don't prepare properly for getting that side of their business in place. Today, we're talking to Christine Blosdale. She goes by the Expert Authority Coach. She's worked with entrepreneurs, authors, and thought leaders to help them get seen, trusted, and paid for what they already know. We're going to explore how to apply her understanding and knowledge to early stage founders. Christine, welcome to Feel the Boot.
Thank you, Lance. I've been looking forward to this. We're going to have fun today.
Across the board, you work with a lot of founders who are genuinely experts at what they do, right? These are the top people in the world, but they're often not the top at these kinds of things. They don't know how to be seen. They don't know how to get themselves out there. So why does expertise not translate through? Why is that not something that people see?
Oh, mostly it's because we as entrepreneurs or founders, we have this vast amount of knowledge and we think that everybody else understands it, right? We're like, well, we get it. Why doesn't everybody else get it? And there was somebody, and I wish I remember who to refer the quote to, but there was someone who had said, it's actually best to put things in your messaging at a fifth grade level. And it's basically to reiterate, keep it simple, silly. I don't like to use the word stupid, but it's the KISS. It's the KISS model. Keep it simple. And this is a mistake that people make all across the board, from entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, authors, it doesn't matter, thought leaders, is that they lack clarity. And you need to be very clear in your messaging. You need to be very clear in your branding of who you are, who you serve, and how you help them, how you solve a problem. And what happens is that we get bogged down into minutia and these, oh, here's all my credentials and all these things, and the message is not really clear. So we want to focus on clarity right from the get-go.
Yeah, I see that all the time with pitch decks where it's clear that the founder can't even imagine what it was like anymore to be someone who had no clue about the thing they're doing. And so the deck
Yeah.
starts talking about the problem kind of in the middle. And like, tell me the big stupid thing. What the hell is this?
Yeah, it's really important, and it's something that we tend to miss because we're so excited about the projects that we're working on, or if we're starting up a new business, especially, we're excited about it, and we forget we need to just kind of dial back a little bit.
So what is sort of projecting the right kind of authority look like? So a founder walks into the room and they're trying to be taken seriously. They're trying to have the investor really believe in what they're saying. And especially at the early stage, fundamentally it's an investment in the founder much more than the idea or the business, because you know it's going to pivot. You know all their projections are wrong. So we're betting on the horse.
Yes.
And so that makes it exponentially more important to get that right. So what does
Yes.
that look like?
If you notice, like with me, Lance, when I first reached out to you, I had sent you a media kit, and then that media kit was a photo, and that photo has me wearing headphones, and there's a microphone in front of me, so you immediately know that I have something to do with the world of audio. It's like, okay, but it's the expression on my face. That photo of me with my mouth open, my eyes are completely closed. You can't even see into my soul through my eyes, but it's an expression of joy. It's an expression of excitement. And so just from that one image, many people are able to get already a real hit off of my energy. And that one photo has opened so many doors for me because it's showing people before I can even speak a bit about my energy, right? And so that's something that I need to remind a lot of founders, a lot of people who are especially going from a corporate role and they are looking now for investors, they're looking for capital. You're exactly right what you said. It's not so much about the gizmo, the gadget, the product. It's really about the person behind it, especially if you are someone who is going to be part of the brand, and the brand is you. So we want to make sure that that comes across really clear and your energy is in check, that you know what you're putting out there.
Yeah, I've got to say, yeah, that photo and your media kit definitely carried a lot of weight because we get pitched all the time for people to be
Yeah,
on this YouTube channel, and often, there's no sign that they know what they're doing, that they're professionals, that they've been in this space before. I have no idea if they're going to present well
right.
on mic. And the package that you put together sort of answered a lot of those questions automatically. It said, okay, this is someone who is this is not their first rodeo, this is not their first podcast.
Right.
They're going to know what they're doing. Um, so what are some ways that a founder can put that out there? What sort of content or messages or signals can they give so that they're telling the investors this is the founder you're looking for?
Well, creating a media kit or a press kit is a great way to start. I tend to think of it as what we want to do is we want to take the jewels that you have, the important, noteworthy things, and we want to put it in there. It's like putting jewels into your crown, right? So that the crown that you're wearing has all of those. It's got the rubies and the diamonds. It's got all the stuff that people are going to be interested in and want and desire. Nobody cares that I went to San Diego State University, okay, back in the day. Nobody really cares even, where I'm living right now. That's not what's important. But what's important is for that media kit to reflect my expertise, my experience, but also to remind people about things that are noteworthy. In other words, that's why I name drop a few things in my media kit. I make sure that people know that I work for America Online and Microsoft. Those are two very large corporations, companies. But the media kit is really great, not only for potential investors and people who you want to bring into your projects and the work that you're doing, but it's also a great reminder. I have my clients, and I do this myself, and I've been doing this a long time. I have my media kit right in front of me. It's always right next to my computer so that I can look to it and I can refer to it. And it has little highlights and phrases, things that I want to be able to refer to. So what we call a mantra or a tagline, those type of things, those are the things that we want to repeat and we want to have stick with people. So for myself, when people go, well, what do so what is it that you do? I'm the expert authority coach, and I help overwhelmed entrepreneurs, people in business, get seen, get trusted, and get paid for what they already know. I can say that in my sleep. And when I say that, it encompasses all of the work that I do, and it gives somebody who's listening to me an idea right away of who I am, who I serve, and how I can help them. And so that's really important to have that media kit or that press kit as a guide, as a blueprint, so to speak, for you, for your business, but also for your brand. Really, for your brand is most important.
Right. I mean, right. Because I think there's a personal version of that. And then there's also the startup company version of that, which is really the
Yeah.
verbal elevator pitch, where
Hmm.
you've got your 10-20 second rendition of why are you doing something exciting that someone should want to give you 5 minutes to hear more about.
Yes, or $5 million. Right? Why should someone give you, a great idea? A great idea or invention or a product is only as great as the energy behind it. Again, we're going back to that energy thing. But you can have the greatest thing since sliced bread, and if you don't have the mechanisms behind it to make it come true and to have it go through fruition and actually move, then it's just a great idea and it sits there. And there's a lot of great ideas that just sit there. So you want to be able to take action on it, and you want to have that personality behind it so that there's confidence that the people who want to invest time and energy and money have confidence in you that you can follow through. That's really the most important thing, really.
So I've seen some founders who are trying to project confidence, and they come across as sort of braggadocio, right? It feels
Yeah.
like they're BSing you, and that also sets off alarms. Do you have suggestions for us on how to portray confidence without crossing that line?
Yes. So confidence is something that is it's within your cells. It's in your DNA. Okay. It's not something that necessarily you learn or you replicate. It's something that is embedded in you. And if you are somebody who's really good at what you do, you know you're really good at what you do. And you can actually sit up on a mountaintop and say, you know what? I'm damn good at what I do. Okay. That's a confidence. There's no arrogance and there's no ego. So you need to sometimes check yourself and to see how you're presenting the material or the work that you do. And if there's any tone of ego or arrogance in it, it's like nobody wants to jump aboard the Titanic. It makes people run away. And right now, Lance, we are in a period of time in human history where, as a society, as human beings, we are craving honesty, authenticity, and truth. So being human too and saying, you know what, I'm really good at what I do. Am I perfect? No. Do I know everything about everything? No. But what I do know, I'm really good at and I'm very confident in. Now, that sounds so much better than saying, I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread and don't worry about it. I can take care of everything. I'll figure it all out. It's all good. It's all good. It's just coming from a place of service and saying, I know that I can help people in my way and with the tools that I have. And being authentic and being real is just, it's gold right now. It really is. So don't try not to be perfect. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. Right. Authenticity seems to be incredibly critical. Now, it's interesting. Some these people I work with tend to be really, really good, and the people in the audience really know their stuff. But
Yeah.
imposter syndrome is also a huge issue for a lot of them. Right. We all know the
Yeah.
Dunning-Kruger curve, where the
Yeah.
people who know quite a bit often are very uncomfortable and uncertain of their experience, whereas the people who know nothing, they're gung ho. They're ready to go.
You're right. Yeah, no, imposter syndrome, this is probably something that I do a lot of public speaking on with business groups as well, and especially in a leadership arena. Imposter syndrome really affects just about everybody. Okay, we all encounter it at some point. Some people live in it. It's a very uncomfortable space, but many times those people who suffer from imposter syndrome on the regular are overachievers. So congratulations if you have imposter syndrome. Okay, you're an overachiever. That means, you want to get 100% on those tests. You want to score the highest. You want to go after, you want to make sure you have all the credentials in line and you're doing as perfect a job as possible. But here's the thing. Overachievers can be overstimulated and worry about what other people think. And worrying about what other people think or what other people say is a dream killer. Give me the name of your favorite actor, and whoever they'll say, Meryl Streep or Al Pacino, whoever, and I'll say, do you know that actors are some of the biggest sufferers of imposter syndrome? They can play a character amazingly, but playing themselves scares the hell out of them. That's why they're such good actors. Okay?
Right. It's a mask that they get to put on.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of early stage founders are young. They may not have a lot of experience and a lot of those crown jewels that they can show off yet. Certainly, the business won't have a lot of that yet, even if the person is maybe mid career and has more
Yeah.
experience. But we know that explaining why the founder is the right person to do this is critical to the investors, right? Or
Absolutely.
employees or co-founders, anyone you're trying to get involved to commit to working on this startup or investing time or money in it. How do you suggest people then approach that why you question, right? Because it's going to come up. Why are you the right person to do this? Why is this team the team that can succeed against
Yeah.
those many other people who are going to be trying to do the same or similar sorts of things with confidence, without that sense of ego, but still really selling that you are the right team for the job.
A lot of that happens in a conversation. Like when when I sit down and have a conversation with either a team or the founder or the owner of a business, right? I need to be able to sit down with them and have that conversation and pick out what I want to see and hear. In other words, the things that what people want and need, sometimes we gloss over that, right? We're so involved. We have blinders on when we're in business as well. And we only see a certain spectrum. Okay. And it's whatever's in front of us. It's also whatever's behind us, what we have achieved. But a lot of times we don't see the big picture. So when I sit down with somebody, I'm going to be able to pick out all those things that you have forgotten. Uh, Maybe you think it's not important, a skill set that you have or an experience that you've had that you're like, oh, yeah, I did that. I have a client who we were going over an as seen on, so like on media kits. It's like, the different companies that you've worked with, right? As seen on, as affiliated with those type of things. And these are, I was saying, are there some recognizable brands that you've worked with that we can include in this kit so we can tell people that, you've worked with some. And he was kind of going with a lot of these wonderful nonprofit organizations and things like that. And I had to keep talking to him and digging a bit more. And in that conversation, he said, "Oh, well, he goes, I did work for this one company, but it was only for 6 months. It, it was a lot of work, but it was only for 6 months or something." And I said, "What was the company?" He's like, "Oh, Walt Disney." And I'm like, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? What did you do for Walt Disney?" And then he tells me, I was like, that is one of the most recognizable brands. That's one of the Now, if I was an investor and you're telling me about all these philanthropic great nonprofits that you've worked for, okay, that's cool. I've never heard of them, and I'm sure they're great and they help people out. But then if you tell me that you have serious connections with Walt Disney and you've worked with them in a corporate environment, then I'm going to actually go, okay, this is somebody that I need to listen to. I need to talk to a little bit more. So that's what we want for you to do with your business and your idea. So when you're looking for those investors, so that they can go, okay, I can invest some time and maybe money in you. And so that comes from a conversation. Because a lot of times we don't see it. We go, oh, I just work for that little, a little company over there
So
for a little
that's an
while.
interesting one because I know the investors probably don't have the time to have a long conversation to pull it out of you.
No.
So is this something where you want to actually be having interviews with, friends or coaches or someone else to help pull that
Yes.
out and identify those things?
I think one of the best things that a person could do is to have a coach or a consultant, have somebody who can work on your whole presentation, but work on your branding in general, and to pick out those jewels that, again, that you may not think much of, or you may think that they were insignificant, but you need to have somebody that can bring out those high points and say, this is important. Where you went to college, okay, that's not so important, but this
Right.
is important.
Well, I think it's true that we're all too close to what we're doing. You're too close to your
Yes.
startup. You're too close to yourself. It's really hard to see that objectively, and being able to have someone on the outside see that. I see this with pitch decks all the time, where I'm working with someone on it, and we they go through it. Then I ask a bunch of follow up questions, way more than any investor would, and suddenly I discover that they have just completely failed to talk about their huge insight and what makes their company unique and interesting, and it's nowhere in the deck. You know,
Right. You're right. You're like, where has this been?
it's insane. So I want to circle back to you talked earlier about media kits, and I want to touch on that again because I think with founders, that they're probably not doing a lot of media yet, although maybe they should be doing more. We might talk about that. But the main place that they're getting seen is LinkedIn. Right, that's
Yes,
where the
it
investors are going to
is.
go hunt for them. It's where a lot of this whole ecosystem lives. Do you have any specific thoughts about what kind of things should they putting in there? How do you highlight the right kind of aspects to make sure that when someone looks at your profile, it delivers that right energy, shows
Yeah.
what you've accomplished, and tells the story you want it to tell?
LinkedIn is an amazing resource for networking, collaboration, and connection to people that you want to be connected to, right? So it also depends a lot on the personality. There's some people that are on LinkedIn that are um, extremely smart, and their skill set is so high when it comes to conveying through written word, right? Through blogs or newsletters. And they're just really gifted at that. And so I'm like, you know what? Stay in your lane. Absolutely do that stuff because that's what you're passionate about and it comes across. But then there's some personalities that they get way more leverage and more connection by doing video. And video is really powerful. It's one of the most powerful tools that you can use because immediately that video, people are going to hear your voice. They're going to feel your energy. They're going to be able to see your eyes. So they're going to see if you're shifty eyed, or if you're excited about something. So I think the use of video and LinkedIn used to be not like it used to be like, oh no video, no video. It's way better now. People are actually taking the time and investing in watching video. Still, you want to keep it short, relatively short, but I believe communicating through video is one of the best ways that you can connect with your audience and potential customers or clients, because that's the way you're going to get into their heart. It's through auditory, it's through visual, and it leaves an imprint. It's also easy to share those things as well. We want it so people will share the content that we have and be excited about it.
So what's your suggestion for how to get people to see that? So when you set up your profile, you
Yeah.
maybe don't have a lot of connections, you don't have a lot of visibility. That sort of means you don't have credibility, you don't have this big audience. It becomes a catch-22 kind of problem.
Yeah.
Where do you suggest people start addressing that feedback loop to try to build that visibility and credibility out there in the world? So when
Yeah.
someone Googles you,
Yes.
you show up.
So I'm going to give you the important tips here, important things that I think. One of the most important things, invest in a good headshot. That headshot is going to be your profile pic on LinkedIn. It's going to be the picture that you have in the back of your book. It's going to be on your website. It's going to be on your media kit. So invest in a good professional photographer led headshot session. Okay. You'll probably get more than one good shot out of it, but you're looking for that money shot. You're looking for that image that just says so much about you just by that one photo. So that's really important. The other thing is I find when you have a catchphrase or a mantra, that tends to psychologically hit with people and it keeps you in their memory, right? So people may not remember my name, Christine Blosdale. Christine, what was your name? I don't know. But the expert authority coach, that hits home for a lot of people because they're like, oh, I understand. I think I know what that is. Okay, that's cool. And then I help overwhelmed uh, entrepreneurs get seen, get trusted, and get paid for what they already know. That's something I could say in my sleep, right? It's easy to remember. Keep it short though. Don't go on and on, especially on LinkedIn. It needs to be short, fast, and take those crown jewels, those things that you've accomplished that you've worked really hard for, and make those part of your profile, the description on your profile, so that people, and make sure that it's not about where you went to college. It's really about your accomplishments that you've done.
I love your point about the headshots. I can't think of how many decks that I see where I see the team slide, and I'm like, this bunch of goofballs, I would never hand them $20, let alone,
They're all
200,000.
selfies or something like
Right.
that.
Or they're at Disneyland, they're in a t-shirt. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know, to spend a moment. It,
Yeah, and every decent city or town has a professional photographer. And you don't necessarily want a wedding photographer to do your headshots. You want someone who specializes in headshots, okay? There's product photographers and all kinds of different photographers, but you wanna make sure and check out their, their gallery, check out the samples of the work that they've done, and also, if you feel comfortable bringing in a prop or bringing in different outfits, do that. And then that way you can have different looks and different feels and see which one hits for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, and as a founder, if you've got a prop that can relate to the business you're in or the thing you're doing,
Yeah.
I worked with one guy who uses a swallowable. He makes swallowable endoscope pills that can
Does
be
he hold the pill
steered.
in his does he have the pill in his hand?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant.
Here it is. When he does, is on stage talking to investors, he takes one and then has someone steer it around in his stomach. Um,
I had a client who he had many businesses and back in the day had it's 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 this device. It's kind of like a Nerf. It looks like a Nerf football. Are you familiar with the Nerf footballs? It kind of feels like that, but it was called the it was called the Turtle. Turdle. Good old Reno.
mhm.
Reno Rollet. I love him so much. And so he would do a lot of his photo shoots. He'd be just holding this, and it was shaped like a turtle, but it's a thing that you push against you when you're in the potty to go to the bathroom to help you. And um just the visual of that, and the name is brilliant, okay? But just the visual of that immediately sparks interest. And even if you're not interested in the product, you're just like, dude, I love you. I just gotta talk. I want to go have a beer with this guy,
All
right?
right, you're going to remember this person.
You are
It's
gonna
going to stand
remember the
out.
turtle man. Yeah.
That's right. I think it is a fine line, right? You want to be memorable, you want to stand out, you want to have something that catches attention, but
Yeah.
can't be, too jokey or too silly. It's gotta, again, it's part of that energy. What is the energy you're putting out? What are you saying about yourself
Yeah.
with these things?
But see, with that endoscopic pill that you swallow, uh, if it was just him in a lab coat, uh, that would be one vibe. But the fact that he's standing there and he's got the pill in his hand, or if he's holding it, however he has it, right? Um, that says that's confidence in the product, right? And it's showing the actual product, and it's something that we can all relate to because we've all taken a vitamin, we've all taken a pill, we've all taken aspirin or whatever. So it's something that we're so used to doing, but this is with something that has amazing capabilities. That's a great photo idea. That's brilliant. Yeah.
So how much time should be when should people start thinking about this, or when they're looking out, I'm going to be raising money in
Mm.
6 months or 9 months. I mean, I assume longer better, but kind of what's a reasonable amount of time to be able to have a real impact on your visibility and credibility for when
Mm.
the investors start looking at you?
You want to start now. You want to start as soon as you can. But I have with my clients, I have a minimum of 3 months that we work on everything. So we build a very strong foundation with the branding, with the website, the words that we use, all of that stuff, right? What we focus attention on. Um, and in those 3 months, the transformation is huge. And we do that though because we're working every single week. We're working constantly together, right? I'm with them every single week. But you want to start as soon as possible because you have a digital footprint as well. And it used to be all about SEO, right? It used to be all about search engine optimization. And what are people going to find if they Google you? Well, that's all good and well, but now it's about Ask Engine Optimization, AEO, and it's about ChatGPT. And if you pull up a ChatGPT or Claude and you say, "Who is Lance Cottrell?" or "Who is Christine Blosdale?" you want it to return to you who you are and what you're famous for, or what you've accomplished. I did with a client just recently, and she has is just starting her brand and just starting her business, and I put her name in, and it didn't know who she was, right? And this is someone who's been in the industry, her particular industry, for 20, 30 years. It's because there's not a lot of stuff out there. So how we get the stuff out there is being a guest on podcast shows. That shoots up your AEO and your SEO, right? Writing those books, those blogs, getting published, all those different things help create that digital footprint. And that is what people, if especially an investor in 6 months' time, they're going to Google your name, but they're probably also going to ChatGPT your name or your company's name, and you want to make sure that what comes back to them is a bit more than just no info found. That's scary.
Yeah, right. So what's your experience in terms of the biggest bang for the buck with these things? I mean, writing a book is hugely impactful and an awful lot of work. I've got one that I'm hoping to be getting out in the next couple of months. But this is a non-trivial endeavor. What's the low-hanging fruit that if
Yeah.
someone's got, say, 6 months, what do you start working on now to start building this up so that you do get those returns?
Well, and I tell people, and I'll give you some examples of things that you can do right away. Um, right away, you can, as long as you have a media kit put together. And if you don't, then work with a coach, work with someone like myself who can cobble that together with you and design that media kit for you. But then, getting booked on podcast shows and knowing what. Here's the other thing is with the professional media kit that I do with my clients is we have suggested topics and suggested questions. Those suggested topics are the things that you could talk about forever. It's like if somebody said, let's talk about this topic, you'd be like, oh, I'm so excited we're going to talk about this because this is my passion. I love this. And if you've got a few different topics, that's important, right? But that's easy to do. Okay. And to get you booked on shows, it's just a system, right? So that's one thing. Now, I used to think that writing a book would be very hard as well. I thought, oh my God, I can't imagine sitting down at a typewriter with a smoking jacket and a scotch and like sitting there typing out, a Tom Clancy novel. That kept me from writing my first book for many years. And then I found there's a way that you can write that book, air quotes, write that book and publish it. And it does not have to be a novel. So what I do is instead of sitting there and looking at a blank doc, that's what I did with this one, this thick book here, Expert Authority Code. This is all of my speaking engagements and workshops and webinars and all of that stuff. It's all been transferred into this beautiful book. And self-publishing is an amazing thing. Anybody can do it. It just takes a little bit of a process, but you don't have to have a publisher. If you have something really big and you think it could be really big, then yes, seek out an agent and seek out the publisher. But you can self-publish a 35, 40-page guide tomorrow. You could do it in a day.
Well, the nice thing about ebooks is it's not obvious how small it is either. When someone
Exactly.
picks it up, they get the value, but yeah, it's not like it needs to weigh a pound or it doesn't feel.
And the psychological impact of having a book, it tells people, it builds your expert authority just by the fact that you have the book. It doesn't have to be a bestseller, but just the fact that you have the book, it brings you up. When you are looking for guests for your podcast show, if they're an expert in their particular field, that's great. That's wonderful. You look at their website. But when they have a book, it moves them up a little bit.
Right. It's
Right?
always in the intro there. It's like author of, best-selling
Exactly.
author of whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So those are some quick things that people can do relatively quickly, and creating content.
And so that would be posts, but articles, maybe a blog, things like that.
Yeah, and take advantage of LinkedIn's newsletter. You can create a newsletter. Um, that I get people signing up for my newsletter all the time, and they're not necessarily my connections. They're not people that, and I'm not pitching it. I'm not promoting it. I'm not saying please sign up for my newsletter. I'm not like that at all. I just create the newsletter, which are basically glorified blog entries. Okay, and I don't sell on my newsletters in the LinkedIn. I don't say buy this, buy that, sign up for this course, all those different things. At the end, I'll do a small call to action. I'll say if you're interested in learning more, book a free consultation with me, but I don't use that as a sales pitch. It's about educating people or informing them about a particular subject.
And so, how does a founder know if they're getting this right, that they're starting to get some traction, that things are looking good? Is there sort of a self assessment that they can do to see where they stand?
Well, they can actually if they're interested in if they're interested in rating their own expert authority-ness, and how they're being perceived, let's say through AEO and search engines and things like that, they can take my quiz. It's a super easy 10-question quiz. You don't fail, or you can score high, but there's no failure involved in it. These are all questions that you should be asking yourself anyway for any business. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. And it's very, very simple, and you'll get a rating scale on things that you should work on, you need to work on a little bit more, and things that you're getting right. I really believe in telling people what they're doing right. Um, I'll go to your website sometimes and I'll just say, even though there's things that I would really change right away, I would also give you those kudos on the things that you've done correctly, because I think that's important, that hey, I'm on track with this. This I need to fix, but I'm on track with this. And the quiz is at expertauthorityquiz.com. They can take it right away and they get their answers right away as well.
Awesome. So I'll put the link up there and down in the description. So
Fantastic.
they'll have access to that. Well, wonderful. It's been so great talking to you. Any final thoughts that you want to share with this audience?
You know what? I just want to encourage you, wherever you are in your business, if you're just ramping up and you're just starting something, you've got a great idea, or if you're someone who really you need to refigure or rebrand because it's just not working, um, know that it's never too late. Know that I have clients that are in their late 70s. I even have one who's in their early 80s, and they're kicking ass right now. And right now, again, authenticity is the most important thing. So there is no cap on how old you are, or if it's too late to do it. It's never too late.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure
Thanks,
talking with you.
Lance.
Really enjoyed this. And hopefully we'll get this up soon.
Thank you, Lance. It's been great.
Thanks.